make the strings.
Jay-Z. How you YouTubers doing?
Okay.
What's up, guys? It is part 5 of the giveaway car. So we're kind of waiting on some parts, but most of the parts came in, or at least most of the stuff that we need to actually get this thing ready to bolt in there. I got this magical box from Drifmotion. This thing has basically a lot of the stuff that we need to address before we put the engine in. So the timing belt, the front main seal, rear main seal. I think we might be doing the valve stem seals. A few other things like that. Let's see, the clutch disc. I got the flywheel resurfaced today. So that's all brand new, ready to go. We got all the boxes and everything over here. We got the radiator, we got the fans, we got intercooler piping, we got exhaust piping, we got all kinds of stuff. So I think it's about time to start hammering down on this. Jamie cooked dinner, so I gotta run home real quick. David's gonna unbox all this stuff because he likes doing unboxing videos. So he's gonna unbox that stuff real quick. I'm gonna go run and eat dinner and then come back and then start hammering down on that pretty Jay-Z over there. Look at that thing. Man, that's a hell of a parts hoard right there. Dave, you did good at unboxing that.
Yeah, it's like Christmas.
Yeah.
August.
Hey, this is Dave, bud.
Is it August?
Man.
Yeah, this is in August.
Wow. So this is actually the turbo off of the Supra, but we are getting a brand new Garrett GTX 3076R, and so that's for representation purposes only.
Tell them why.
But yeah, so we got the wrong.
Somebody on eBay.
Yeah, somebody sent us the wrong hot side on eBay, so we ended up talking to Garrett, and then we're working together on that, or on not on that, another one. But I'm stoked for that. Yeah, look at all these parts. So we got the Coil Radiator, the same exact thing that's been in my drift car for the past like 2 seasons, and kept that thing cool. Same exact fans, the super high CFM fans that pull all kinds of crazy air. We got a steering wheel adapter spacer thing, so we could run that other deal.
Who makes that?
We don't have the wastegate out here. What, this?
Yeah.
I think NRG.
Oh, good. So it's not an eBay one.
Yeah, it's it. And then we got some V bands,
Not to use it.
resurfaced R154 flywheel, brand new clutch disc, timing belt, bunch of service items for it. We got this the xcessive tranny bracket, so that'll hold up the R154. These are the engine brackets with their urethane mounts. Tix Racing, the throttle cable bracket, little cooler or radiator hose for the top. We got the intake for the turbo, the xcessive manufacturing. This is for the shifter extension on the R154, because to go in an S chassis and actually have the shifter be in the correct position, it needs to be moved back about 2.5 inches. So there's also a thing in here. We have to cut our stock rod and extend that, but that'll make that super, super nice and super pretty to install that. What else? We got the power steering lines, clutch line, clutch hydraulic stuff, some aluminum pulleys for it, some maintenance stuff. So I think these are the front or rear main seal. I think that's rear main seal, and then some valve cover hoses, timing belt. Got a water pump. What else?
Where's the water pump at?
In that other box.
Each other box.
Oh, it's probably in the back of the Supra. Or in the Saab. We got some corner lights for the bumper. I don't know, a bunch of stuff. Got some gear oil for the tranny, some ARP hardware for the pressure plate and flywheel. Got an oil drain plug. What is this? Oh, this is the R154 like clutch disc stuff. So this is the dilemma we're running into right now. You can see we got Dave. We're trying to get this pulley off.
It's fucking like this breaker bar is like a moon now. It's like this. It's in half. It's like
Well, it's like over 1,000 foot-pounds with this bar and this bar.
So that thing's stuffed in there, and we absolutely cannot get this front deal off. It's like the little Asian dude in Japan that changed the timing belt. I think they changed it.
No anti-seize.
100,000 kilometers, which is right at 60,000 miles. But yeah, I don't know. It's completely locked on there. So maybe we're not changing the timing belt. I don't know. Because this doesn't look like.
Let's give it a winner the timing belt. Like find someone with like.
Yeah. So whoever wins this car, they get a
2,000 foot-pound remover.
No, we just need an inch impact. One of the semi ones where it's like.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I know.
Look at these ventilation hoses, though. Wow.
You like.
So I got everything all mounted on the clutch as far as the release bearing, all that new stuff. Still having issues with this front crank pulley. Just can't seem to get it off. I literally had this torch on it for like 15 minutes, just cranking like the heat into that bolt, and it wasn't working. Got the flywheel on there. Got the new pilot bushing. Had Ty run over there. These are the new ARP bolts for the flywheel. We got the OEM ones for the pressure plate. So yeah, the thing is, so this right here is the 7M bell housing, and I have the other bell housing outside. So this is a R150, well, this is a JZ R154 bell housing. So I need to clean that up, pressure wash it, get it all nice. But yeah, aren't you guys excited? Look at this. That is exactly, well, almost exactly what's going in that thing. So yeah, before David started, what were you telling me about?
Carbon fiber super hood.
He found a carbon fiber super hood on Craigslist, and they're trying to make a movie, and he's yelling at me. So anyhow, this is essentially what is going in this thing. We are going to be doing a few things different, namely the turbo. This is a GTX 3582R. The turbo that's going on that is a GTX 3076R, so it'll spool actually a little bit faster. If you guys have watched David Patterson's build, his 240sx, the 240 Smurf X or whatever. Anyhow, he has that exact turbo on his 2J VVTi, and he says that it spools like insanely fast, and it almost feels like it's like supercharged. So I am using the same exact log manifold that I have on here, and I have a 38mm wastegate on here, but we have the Synapse. This is a Synapse 40mm. This is not the exact turbo. This is a representation of the turbo that's going on there. This is the GTX 3584 RS with the V-band exhaust housing. This is actually going on the Supra, but we're still basically waiting. I think we're about a week out on the turbo from Garrett. The last week in my other video, I talked about what turbo was going on this thing, and I had I have this. This is a 3076R. We painted the housing. It's not bolted on there, but it had a T3 exhaust housing with a .63 AR. This was like SR size. I ordered a used, I ordered a housing off of eBay, and the guy said it was an 82. It was a T4 82 AR for the 3076, but it's actually for like, I don't know, the wheel didn't fit and all that other stuff. So talked to Garrett and working together with them on this other turbo, which I'm pretty excited about because this is going to have the new Gen 2 turbo on it. So the turbo is actually like almost cost more than the engine, which is crazy. But yeah, that turbo is like a $2,000 value that's going on this engine, which is crazy because these 2Js are about, they went up in price recently. I think this one was like $1,850 or $1,900. I think they're about $2,000 right now. I hope we could get this damn crank pulley on so that we could get all these timing belt and everything. Like I said, ordered a bunch of stuff from Drifmotion, all the OEM seals, and you know, water pump, the VVTi gear stuff. This is some of the stuff from Xcessive. Yeah, these are all the mounts, and we got an intercooler piping kit, like a universal one, and a bunch of exhaust stuff.
I don't know. There's one right there.
Yeah, it is.
How the fuck do you get this off? I know.
Dave, you like my pressure wash bell housing?
Yeah, you're lucky I showed you that.
Oh, you're lucky, huh?
Yeah.
No, so look at that. That thing cleaned up nice.
Yeah, who showed you how? Look at the tranny.
I feel like this looks a little bit cleaner than the tranny.
I think they look exactly the same.
Yeah, but so while Dave is doing that, I want to show you guys this excessive manufacturing thing. So like I was saying earlier, this is like the Mark III Supra deal, but this basically extends it back because I would have to like cut the front of the tranny hole in the 240, but this should put us pretty much like direct center and in the 240sx so that the shifter is just right in its factory position, which will be really nice. Comes with its own brand new bushings in there, and then basically the only thing we'll have to do is cut this rod in here and put this little extension in there. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that, and then David's going to do the bell housing and probably the clutch. Might as well get her mounted up because Dave already got the rear main seal in a little bit ago. So
And the flywheel.
and the flywheel. Yeah. But he forgot a bolt in there.
That's behind like the clutch board.
Yeah.
And I don't do Toyota stuff, so.
You don't do Toyota stuff.
What do you do, Dave? What do you do?
Yeah. What?
RVs, the only good in line 6.
How many do you have
Only
running?
good inline. Say, hey,
Dave, how many RBs do you have right now
I have
that
a
run?
question. What? Who has? So do you have a? You currently have a running RV?
Yeah.
In where? In what one of your cars?
Oh, I don't have a running RV.
Oh, you don't have a running RV.
But you're talking.
Remember when you had that JZ swapped 240?
Yeah. Remember when the last time a JZ revved to 10 grand? Never.
Probably because it doesn't need to because it makes torque.
Yeah, but we're RVs revved.
Not 10 grand from the factory.
Yeah.
That RB25 that I had,
RB26.
it looked like it revved to 10 grand.
RB26.
But that was only because the tachometer was off.
RB26. Nobody cares about RB25s.
What about your RB30, Dave? What about your RB30?
Yeah.
about
I think that'll only rev to like 8.5 or 9.
Oh. Oh, Dave.
Just ripping her off, bud.
Wow. I think after this, you're probably going to be like, Jay-Z.
Yeah, probably not.
Remember that one time you had that Jay-Z swapped to 240 and then you were like, Jay-Z.
No, I just drove it.
Yeah, you just drove it. You didn't have to work on it because it just worked.
Well, I wouldn't have to work on an RV either.
What have I done to my drift car this year?
I don't know.
How many
Nothing.
rips has it done this year?
You pretty much are always shallow, so that doesn't count.
I'm shallow.
Ooh.
When you follow. Yeah.
Why?
Because
Well, I'd like
you're-
to see.
you're
I'd like to see your follow runs, Dave. Where's your follow runs?
I don't know.
Exactly. So I think this is brewing a Trevor versus Dave drift off. I have a four-door BMW,
Yeah, let's do that.
and you have
You won't be
a.
afraid to bang doors in a car you don't care about. Neither
Well,
will I.
at the end of this month, what is that? That 2-day IMI drift event?
Yeah, but they have to have cages.
No, cageless tandem.
Ooh.
So
That's
I have a $300 BMW. You have a $400
P35.
G35. I might have to pull that thing in. We might have to put the giveaway car on the back burner to get this Dave versus Trevor drift off going.
You're gonna be regretting that.
Why? Why? Because you'll just plow into me with that damn bull bar you have on the front.
Look at Dave. He's so confident. He just knows.
Dave's confidence antler just grew.
How's the shifter coming along, bud?
Well, if David would get his hand off. David, get off it. Oh, look at that. So, yeah, basically, I gotta take off this little rod right there
Well, hurry up.
and extend it. You hurry up, Dave. Actually, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get that off.
You. Oh yeah, you have to like pull the case.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Or I could just cut it and weld it right here.
You could.
See it, you, oh, it's really open, you
So yeah, just got this thing all tigged up. Turned out pretty good. The nice thing about TIG is that you don't have any splatter off of it like a MIG weld. So we're able to weld it pretty much how it is on here. Also, when I cut the stuff off, or when I was grinding it, I stuffed a rag down in there, and then I used some aluminum tape so I wasn't flicking any sparks or anything in there. But yeah, TIG turned out pretty nice. We already kind of tested it on there before I did like a final weld on it. But just gonna wait for that to cool off for a little bit, and then bolt this nice pretty housing on it. And we're gonna be able to bolt this this tranny up to the engine tonight. So we got the excessive rear housing all bolted on. We went ahead and put on the excessive rear transmission mount, and then now we are replacing the rear output shaft seal with an OEM Toyota one. I wish we were able to actually get this front pulley off. I don't know. I think it's going to have to be like a 3/4 inch like semi-truck impact wrench to actually get that thing off. I literally had the heat on there for 15 minutes using the snap-on thing, my electric Milwaukee. We had this breaker bar with this jack handle on it with ties sitting on the intake manifold and David hanging on the end of that thing, and it still didn't break loose. So we are going to definitely try to get that off as best as we can. I know the timing belt was changed at 100,000 kilometers or whatever, but definitely want to get in there and rebuild the VVTi gear, get the cam seals and everything all done, get the front main seal, and you know, the new tensioner, the new timing belt, the new water pump, all that stuff on this engine. I mean, you don't really have to do that when you, I don't know, I mean, it's not leaking, it's not doing anything crazy. But you might as well do it when you have it all apart and you have it out of the car, so it's easy to do. It's nice because Drifmotion, they make basically all that stuff really, really easy to find on their website. It's just super simple. They also sell like the excessive manufacturing brackets on their website. But yeah, that's like I said, that's pretty much going to be it. Be sure, you know, if you do have like a JZ, or you're planning on doing like a JZ swap into a 240, I do recommend basically all of these parts that I'm using. Like I said, I'm using the excessive manufacturing mounts on this thing. I ordered a lot of like the maintenance stuff from Drifmotion for this thing as well. Yeah, excessive manufacturing brackets, Garrett turbo, the log manifold. You guys might be wondering what I'm gonna do for the ECU on this build, and I'm basically gonna do the exact same thing that's been in my drift car. So I've had this thing swapped in here for, I think it's been about almost 2 years now, somewhere in there. But as you can tell, I have this engine bay fuse box, and not fuse box, this is an actual ECU box out of like an IS300. So I'm 100% stock 2JZ GTE VVTi. I literally have not had the valve covers off of this thing or the oil pan. I haven't pulled the wiring harness off of it. I literally just like put it in here, and it's been great. I ran it for single turbo for, I think it was like 3 or 4 events. Decided to go ahead and upgrade. I mean, it's super simple setup, just log manifold and a Garrett GTX turbo, and it's been awesome. I keep the boost down when I'm drifting, about 12 pounds, and I've turned it up on the dyno up to 17 pounds. And I'm thinking it's making, you know, mid 400 horsepower, mid to low 400 horsepower. Basically, it is on the stock 440cc injectors. From what I've heard, is like on like a 6-cylinder, like the cc of injectors, kind of like the horsepower you could get out of them. So maxing out these injectors, it should only make 440 horsepower. But I mean, this thing absolutely rips. Like it's insane. Anybody who's like ridden with me, even I let Adam drive it, drift it, and he was super stoked. He was like kind of sad that he's actually doing the 3.4 stroker in his car. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've had really, really good luck with this setup, and turnkey, it runs like a factory Toyota. Like you see the issues that like TJ Hunt is having with his 2J VVTi swapped like 350Z on the factory twin turbos, but he's running AEM, and tons of issues. Like can't get it to fire, can't get it to run, you know, wiring issues. I don't know. Stock ECU, it rips. It runs like a stock car. Like it idles perfect. I mean, it just starts. It runs. It's a Toyota like that, and it's awesome. But that's basically the whole idea with this thing, is duplicating that with basically the same parts. Slightly different transmission. I do have the CD09, you know, 370Z transmission in that. We are doing the R154 with this. But yeah, it just goes to show you that, I mean, you'll see that, I mean, it's a fairly simple swap process once you buy all the parts. If you buy all the correct parts, it goes pretty quick. It's pretty easy. So yeah, guys, if you do want to get entered for a chance to win this awesome soon-to-be 2JZ swapped Kooky S14, be sure to head over to MotionAutoTV.com, read the official rules, but, you know, for the gist of it, like every $5 spent on MotionAuto TV merchandise, we have some cool t-shirts, key tags, all that stuff, enters you in to basically a chance to win this car. So every $5 spent is an entry. But yeah, the deadline is September 29th. A couple of you guys who have basically ordered right away have asked, you know, where's my stuff? At the top of the listings or whatever, it said please allow 2 to 3 weeks for shipping because of the pre-order sale. So right now the t-shirts are priced at $25, but we are probably going to be raising them up as soon as we get everything in stock and ready to go. So those of you guys who want to save a little bit of money, go ahead and make sure to get it in your orders now. And those of you guys who want more entries, wait a little bit. And, you know, the prices will be going up just a little bit. But, yeah, this thing should be getting bolted in the car within the next day or so. And be sure to check back. I'm gonna try my best to do daily uploads. Sometimes I don't know what to do. But hopefully you guys like them. I gotta get going home. But catch you guys later.
But let me see you work this beautiful mind. If it's right, the stars align. Nothing can keep you from feeling mine.